See this? This wobbling, jiggly mass, it's actually liquid gold. It's homemade fish stock, and that jelly-like texture is pure collagen from fish bones and heads. It's exactly what separates a stunning restaurant-quality chowder from anything you'll get out of a carton. And the best part? I made it almost entirely from scraps that most people would throw away, or that your fishmonger will practically give you for free. For a flavorful stock, you're going to need some simple aromatics like garlic and onion, maybe some fennel, thyme, and a splash of white wine. And don't be afraid of those fish heads. That's where the collagen comes in, and that's the secret to a really velvety stock. I like to rinse the fish heads and the bones before I start, and this is just to get rid of any kind of blood or anything sticking to it. And if you see like little clots, you can remove them with your fingers. You don't want anything that's going to cloud the stock. The best fish to use is a mild white fish, preferably saltwater, like a snapper, grouper, halibut or flounder, sole, cod, mahi, tilefish, or porgy. I would avoid oily fish like mackerel or even salmon because the flavor will overpower the stock. For the aromatics, you don't need to chop finely or be precise. You just want like rough chop of anything you're using. This is a bulb of fennel. I'm going to use half of it. I had a couple of cloves of garlic, and we just smashed those. I'm putting those in with the skins and all. So for an onion, I'm using half of a yellow onion, and I'm just going to give it a rough chop. That's going to distribute the flavor without having to worry about being too fine or precise. I'm using parsley, but the parsley stems. Don't use the leaves because they can actually inadvertently color the stock, and you don't want that. Just a little bit of brightness from some fresh lemon, and you don't even have to peel it. A rough chop will do. You'll need a large stock pot to make this broth, and we're going to start with the fish heads. Just put them in and then add the aromatics, the fennel, the onion, chopped lemon, and the parsley stems. Whole black peppercorns will add a subtle spice. Don't use ground. And then just put in a couple of sprigs of thyme and some bay leaves. I like to add a splash of white wine for the acidity. That's probably about half a cup. And then enough water to cover the bones and the aromatics. I think this was about 10 cups. But don't worry if it's not precise. It just needs to cover the fish and all of the vegetables. I like to season with a little kosher salt, about 2 teaspoons, but be careful not to oversalt it. Then get it onto the heat. Bring the liquid to a simmer over medium heat. Put the lid on so that it goes faster. Once the liquid's hot and comes to a slight boil, reduce the heat to a low simmer, and you're going to keep the lid on the pot slightly askew so steam can escape, and that's going to concentrate the broth. Unlike other stocks, this has a shorter cooking time, only 30 to 45 minutes. And once that's done, you just remove the bones. And I'm just taking tongs to take out the fish heads and the big pieces of veg and put that into a bowl. Don't toss the bones. Those fish heads have a ton of meat in them. And you can use them in chowders and soups, you name it. I also use this method to make stock from leftover rotisserie chicken. So be sure to check that one out. Once you've removed the big chunks of fish, then we're straining. And I use a mesh strainer for this to remove any larger pieces from the broth. You can see I've just set the strainer in the bowl, and then I'll lift it out. I've only got 2 hands after all. The first strain does a pretty good job of removing all of the large bits. But this extra step takes all of 30 seconds, and it makes the biggest difference. Don't skip it. We're going to strain it through a fine mesh strainer, and this is just going to take away any little extra bits and give you a clearer stock. Isn't that gorgeous? I'm portioning this into quart-size containers. It's perfect for a pot of chowder or a seafood risotto, even a silky pan sauce. The stock will keep in the fridge for up to 5 days, and you can freeze it for up to 3 months. In the bottom of your bowl, you may see some coagulated fats and proteins, and you can strain those out, but for a really clear stock, I just toss it. Hit the subscribe button now so you don't miss the chowder I make with this stock. It's coming soon. I'm Lisa with Garlic and Zest, and I'll show you how to use your leftovers and scraps to make great family meals and save money doing it. So hit like and subscribe, and let's take a look at this gorgeous wobble. You'll never get this kind of body in a store-bought stock, so do yourself a favor, save the bones, and make it yourself. It's so worth it.